With that, I want to welcome for U.S. Senator candidate. She's got the coolest car. Rae Perkins, give it up, please.
Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon. Where is everybody? What are they doing? Enjoying a Saturday with sunshine in Oregon? It is wonderful to be here and excited to be your nominee for the United States Senate to retire Ron Wyden. How many of you heard my interview yesterday afternoon on Lars Larson? I heard it because I was speaking. So Lars starts off with the interview. He's saying, he goes, I can't ever remember a time when Ron Wyden was running ads. I think he's worried. Well, I've been saying the same thing. So when Lars opened up the mic for me, I said, absolutely he's worried. Lars, he's advertising on Christian radio, conservative radio, OAN, Newsmax, Facebook, Snapchat. The man is worried, and he has every right to be. Because this is the year that we're going to hashtag retire Ron. Almost 42 years of failed policies. Let's start off with the forest policies. His advertisements are touting his wonderful forest plan. That's why in 2021, Oregon was number 2 in total acreages burned due to wildfires. Great forest plan, Ron. It's working great. Federal forest. First of all, there is no such thing as a federal forest. It's unconstitutional. Read Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. I reread it the other day, and I went, I saw something I hadn't seen before of all the times that I've read it. Talks about the 10 square miles that can be there, Washington, D.C., and land purchased from the respective states, approved by the legislature, purchased, which I saw, that even means $1. But it's this next little phrase that I kind of missed. It is specifically for ports, magazines, arsenals, needful buildings, specifically. That is what the land is for. So you tell me, how many of you have seen a fort, a magazine, an arsenal, or a port out on any of the federal range lands or federal forests? Anybody see those? That means it's unconstitutional. So our federal forest, the U.S. Forest Service, has been saying, well, we can't afford to maintain the roads. So when they can't maintain those roads and there's a forest fire, that means they can't get the equipment up there to get on top of the fires. It means they can't get up there to take care of the underbrush. That's Ron Wyden's failed forest policies. It doesn't work. Ron Wyden is bad for Oregon, he's bad for America, and he's wrong for our forests. Now, several people have been asking me about polling data. I have to give a big shout out to Congressional CD6 candidate Mike Erickson. Mike has been doing polling on the poll that they ran the 20th and to 22nd of September in the 6th Congressional District. He included me in there. They polled 400 people. And to put that in perspective, that is a statistically significant poll. 500 people in the entire state is considered statistically significant. If they have the right cross-section, which they do, they're 400 likely voters. That poll has a margin of error of 4.85%. So I'm going to give you a few numbers here. So remember that 4.85%. There's 2 guys, one running for the Pacific Green Party, the other one running for Progressive Party, Chris and Dan. Combined, they got 3%. Margin of error is 4.85. They're way out. Undecided, 16.8%. Undecided almost always breaks for the challenger and not the incumbent. Margin of error, 4.85%. Ron Wyden, 42%. Rae Perkins, 38.2%. I haven't even started advertising yet. Our ads are going to hit this next week. When the ballots drop, that's what we're timing for. People have been going, Rae, you've got to ad, you got to advertise, you got to, no. I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm advertising. So they're going to come out just as ballots drop. We're going to start hitting the airwaves all over the state. We're going to be talking about inflation. We're going to be talking about crime and homelessness up in the Portland metro area. And homelessness, as I'm traveling the state, it's not just in Portland, it's not just in Salem, it's everywhere. This is an epidemic of homelessness. Thank you, Biden. Thank you for those people who passed that stupid measure that legalized, quote unquote, decriminalized, the personal possession of all drugs. How many more people do you think came here to Oregon so they could be stoned out of their minds? They have no place to live. Now they're strung out, so they're homeless. They're strung out and they got to get money for their drugs, so now we've got more crime. And then we're going to add the open southern border, which we all know that's a big problem. So what am I going to do? As your United States Senator, many of you have heard me say this before. My staff and I will read every single bill in its entirety and make sure it is clearly 100% constitutional. And if it is not, I have to vote no. I do not have an option. If I vote yes on a bill that is not constitutional, I just violated my oath of office. And I have not been on this journey since I started in 2013 to have to resign because I stupidly violate my oath of office. It's not going to happen. So we're going to read every bill. One of the first bills that I plan on putting forward is to close down the U.S. Department of Education. It is 100% unconstitutional. Let's cut the head off the snake of the National Education Association. They are corrupting our children. And I, for one, am sick and tired of hearing what's going on. I'm very thankful that my son and daughter-in-law decided to pull our grandson, who's in the 3rd grade this year, out of public school, and they're homeschooling him. That just happened last week. We're making a difference. And when we pull more and more kids out of public school and start homeschooling them ourselves, they're going to be far more better educated. But listen, we've got challenges. You all know the challenges. How many of you know somebody who said they're not going to vote because their vote doesn't count? Okay, those people that are telling you that, ask them who they would like to not see. In my case, let's say they go, can't stand Ron Wyden, but my vote doesn't count. Their non-vote just gave Ron Wyden 2 votes. Tell them that. They've got till the 18th to register to vote. Tell everybody you know, double check your voter registration. Make sure that they did not deactivate you. I was on there looking a couple weeks ago and I went, that's interesting. A bunch of people are deactivated again, and they reactivated a whole lot of people the first of the year. And now they were suddenly deactivated, so we need to watch those numbers real closely. But we've got to get people to vote. It is really important. I'm going to ask for you guys a few things. I don't think I'm going to take my full 10 minutes. Because I'm preaching to the choir, but sometimes the choir needs to be inspired. But I want to take a question real quick before I go to the last thing. Does anybody have a burning question they want to ask?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can Donna Smith speak today?
I have no control over the speakers. Any other question? I didn't even know I was speaking today. So then I didn't get the memo. I've been on the road for days. Okay. This is what I'm going to ask of you, and I ask this every single time. Number 1, number 2, number 3, I ask for your prayers. I'm traveling the state. We are at T-minus 31 days. There is, I think 31 days, 32 days, I don't know. It's coming up November the 8th, that's all I know. There's no time to waste. We've got to get things done, so I'm asking for your prayers. I brought with me, there's probably about 1,000 palm cards sitting over there. If you want to go do some door knocking, and some door dropping, please take the palm cards. We need to get them out. I just got 10,000 more delivered to my house over the weekend. So I need help getting those out. Stop by my booth. You'll find it because it's the gold one over there, kind of matches my theme. So we need help getting those out. We're selling flags. That money just goes to the campaign account. So I would love that. We need your donations, your prayers, your votes, your volunteerism. We need to save this state and save our great country. My website is very easy. The last name is Perkins. We're going to vote on November the 8th. Perkins.vote. Thank you all. God bless you, and may God please bless this great country.
Great job.